small shop owner has bought in the Santa or in any light bazaar.
एक ही जगह पे मिलके those type of plastics are known as thermosetting plastics. Comparison, there are 3 types:
up, down, right, left.
I am not inferior to anyone.
We are Clara. You are top on the Everest. Congratulations.
I want to be a leader.
Good afternoon, Sparrows. This is Keerthana from Elkathurthy. In this class, we are going to discuss what is locomotion and movement, how these two are related to muscle, and what is the structure of muscle, how the muscle will help us, and what are the functions of muscle. Muscles are of different types. What are those? So these are the aspects we are going to discuss in this class. Are you excited? Okay class, okay friends, you know very well plants and animals. What is the major difference between plants and animals? Plants, they cannot move from one place to another place, but animals, they can change their place from one place to another place. So friends, what do we call this ability? Yes, this type of ability is called locomotion. Locomotion is nothing but changing a place from one place to another place is called locomotion. Locomotion is changing the place from one place to another place is called locomotion. Friends, locomotion can exhibit all the organisms. Some of them are in amoeba. This is the amoeba. In the amoeba, by the help of pseudopodia, it can change its place. Pseudopodia is the locomotory organ in amoeba. Similarly, in paramecium, this is the paramecium friends. It contains macro and micronucleus along with hair-like structures. This hair-like structure is called cilia. Cilia is helpful for movement of paramecium. In hydra, tentacles are useful for the movement of hydra. In higher organisms like human beings, they can change their place. What are the locomotory organs in human beings? Yes, absolutely. By the help of legs, they can change their place. So, locomotory organs of human beings are legs. By the help of legs, we can exhibit a wide variety of movements like running, jumping, walking. These are all various types of movements. Friends, look now. What am I doing? I am moving my hand and I am talking with you and I am clapping my hand. So, these types of activities are called movement. Movement is nothing but change in the position of a body part is called movement. Friends, all locomotions are movements, but all movements are not at all locomotions, because locomotion is changing the place from one place to another place, but movement is change in the position of a body part. So, two are different, right? Friends, here locomotion needs a perfect coordination between skeletal, muscular and also neural systems. So, by the coordination of these three, we can exhibit a wide variety of movements. Locomotion, generally it requires the muscular and skeletal system. Together, they are called the musculoskeletal system. Friends, what are helpful for movements of legs? Yes, muscles and bones. By the help of muscle, we can perform the many activities. Do you know where the muscles are present? Muscles are present throughout the body. So, by the contraction and relaxation, we can exhibit the movement. The muscles which are present in our body, it helps us to movement and locomotion. Friends, do you know how the muscle is situated? Muscle is situated in the skeleton. The muscle is attached to the skeleton. Do you know about 40 to 50% of human weight is totally contributed by muscles, and muscles are of different types. Muscles, you know, altogether there are 640 muscles are present in a human body. And muscles, friends, do you watch the movie I think yes. Do you like many movies? In that movie, we will observe that here the person he is affected with the disease of muscle. So the person looks he can looks very ugly. When compared to another photo, the person is with more muscles, so he looks very handsome, right? So friends, I advise you to the person who have more muscles looks more beautiful. Muscles, it has some special properties. They are excitability, contractility, relaxation and elasticity. These are the 4 properties of muscles. Friends, muscles are of different types. Some of them are the muscles which have striations. So, these are the striations along with many nuclei. This type of muscles are called striated muscle. Friends, this striated muscle, it is generally attached to the bones with the help of tendons. So, this muscle is also called as skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle. This skeletal muscle, it is a voluntary muscle. We can stop this muscle by our conscious effort. So, it is voluntary muscle. And another type of muscles, they are non-striated containing a single nucleus, and it is without striations. So, friend, this muscle is called non-striated muscle. Non-striated muscle. Friends, do you observe this non-striated muscle is very smooth. So, this muscle is called smooth muscle. Generally, smooth muscle is present in our visceral organs like our alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is surrounded by non-striated muscle. So, it is called as visceral muscle. This non-striated muscle, it works very slow. That means it contracts very slow. So, this muscle is called non-voluntary muscle. It is a non-voluntary muscle and it is a smooth muscle. Friends, another type of muscles, they have some special branches. They are very special. They have striations also. So, these are the branches of muscle. Friends, do you observe that? These are the branches along with nucleus and also some intercalated discs. So, these are the intercalated discs along with striations. This type of muscles are called cardiac muscle. What is it? Cardiac muscle. Do you know where the heart is situated? Yes, heart is situated slightly left side on the thorax region. The entire heart is surrounded by this cardiac muscle. Friends, cardiac muscle does not require any nerve impulse to contract because it can produce the nerve impulses by itself by a special structure, and that structure is called pacemaker. What is the pacemaker of body? Yes, absolutely. Sino-auricular node is a pacemaker in our body. And this cardiac muscle, can we stop the work of heart? No. So, cardiac muscle it is also a non-voluntary muscle. This is a non-voluntary muscle. Friends, cardiac muscle is called as ali pellicter pili, and here now I am going to explain the structure of skeletal muscle. The structure of skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle. Friends, this skeletal muscle, it is the muscle which are attached to the bones are called skeletal muscle. It is attached by the help of tendons. Friends, skeletal muscle is a voluntary muscle. For example, if we write notes continuously for hours together, we feel pain in our hands. What will we do at that time? We stop writing. And this means we are giving the rest to the muscles. So, after some time, we will start writing continuously. So, it is understood that we can start and stop by our will. So, it is a voluntary muscle. Generally, skeletal muscle, the upper layer which is covered by the skeletal muscle is called perimysium. The skeletal muscle in our body, it is made up of a number of muscle bundles, and that muscle bundles are called fascicles. Here friends, each fascicle is surrounded by perimysium. The upper layer of the skeletal is called epimysium. And the fascicles which are present in the skeletal muscle is covered by perimysium. This is the perimysium. Friends, each fascicle in our body, it is made up of number of muscle bundles. That muscle bundles are called muscle fiber, and that muscle fiber is totally ensheathed by endomysium. It is endomysium. Friends, these are the three layers of muscle. So, you can see here, this is the three layers of muscle, and this is the epimysium which is covered by skeletal muscle, and here you will observe that perimysium. Friends, this is the endomysium, that means muscle fiber. Generally friends, the muscle fiber, it is formed by fusion of embryonic mononucleate, and muscle fibers are of different types. They are two. Some of the muscle fiber, they contain myoglobin and also ATP. Myoglobin is nothing but it is an oxygen containing pigment. So, the muscles which are rich in myoglobin and also few in mitochondria are called red muscle fiber. Friends, the muscles which are less in mitochondria and also less in myoglobin, but they are more in sarcoplasmic reticulum. So, that type of muscles are called white muscle fiber. So, you can observe here, these are the red and white muscle fibers. So, these are the red and muscle fiber. Do you guess that? So, these are white, the muscles which are white in color are white muscles, and the muscles which are red in color called red muscle fibers. Friend, white muscle fibers are with high glycogen and also capacity and ATPase activity. And here red muscle fibers, glycogen capacity is very less than white muscle and with low ATP phase activity. Myoglobin is less in white fibers and also rich in myoglobin. These white muscle fibers contain conducting motor neuron, and here they contain slow conducting motor neurons. These white muscle fibers get fatigue easily. Do you know what is fatigue? Fatigue is tiredness, and this is resistance of fatigue and highly vascular and abundant in mitochondria. Friends, in white muscle fibers, they are extraocular muscles. They are present in, that means eyes and nose. They are present in eyes and nose and muscles of hands. And red muscle fibers are present in along long muscles and also limbs and muscles of back. The back contains the muscles. So these are the white and red muscle fibers. Friends, here the muscle fiber is a striated appearance. This is because of a large filaments. That filaments are called myofibril. Myofibril is nothing but it is an band. Generally, you can observe here myofibril. This is a myofibril. It has a striated appearance. You can see here. So, this is the myofibril. It contains alternate dark and light bands. Now, I will show here. So, this is the dark band and this is the light band. Again, dark band. Friends, this dark band is called A band or anisotropic band. Friends, this light band is called I band or isotropic band. Friends, generally these are a striated appearance and they are arranged in a parallel. This is because of two important proteins. That proteins are actin and myosin. Generally, actin is present in I band. You can see here. Actin is present in I band and myosin is present in A band. Friends, this I band is very thin when compared to A band. So, this is thin band and here this thick band. Friends, these are the properties of myofibril, and in the central part of the I band, that means here you can observe an elastic fiber. Here is the another I band. You can observe the central part. It is an elastic fiber. It looks like a Z. So, it is called Z line. This Z line, this is an Z line. This Z line is a thin filament. It is present in the I band. So, this Z line is also called as Crossy's membrane or Dobbe's line. It is also called as Crossy's membrane or Dobbe's line. Friends, this is the Z line, and here the thick filaments which are present in A band, it is called M line. It is a thick filament. You can observe here, this is a thick filament called M line. Friends, in the A band, it is without thick filament. It is made up of a thin fibrous membrane. That membranes are called H zone or H line. H line. So, this is the myofibril. And friends, the both proteins actin and myosin, they are rod like structure and they are arranged in the parallel. So, friends, this is the myofibril. You can observe here. This is the A and I band. This is the Z line, alternate A and I band, and here it is the H zone and also M line. The Z line, it is present in the middle of I band it is appears like a Z in the electron micrograph. So it is called as Z line. Z line, it is also called as crosses membrane or Dobbe's line. The A band contains H zone and also M line. H zone is generally a thin fibrous membrane and M line, it is the thick filament membrane. Okay friends, now you clear about the Z line. M line is a middle thin layer and H zone is a central thick layer of A band. Friends, do you know what is sarcomere? Yes, sarcomere is nothing but the portion between. So you can observe here, the portion between two alternate Z line. So here is a Z line and also here. So these two Z line constitute a sarcomere. Sarcomere. This is the sarcomere. This sarcomere is the functional unit of contraction, and when the sarcomere get contract or relaxed, the A band get overlap. So it can perform the muscle contraction, and this sarcomere is a contraction of muscle. Friends, the portion of myofibril between two successive Z lines is a sarcomere, and it is the functional unit of muscle. The successive Z lines constitute the sarcomere. Friends, the two proteins actin and myosin are called sarcomere. So you can see here, actin and myosin, both the proteins are called contractile proteins. Actin and myosin, they are contractile proteins. Come to the actin. This actin is a protein. Actin is made up of 2F filamentous actin molecule. 2F or fibrous molecules, and each actin molecule, it constitutes a polymer of monomeric G molecules. It also constitutes the G molecule. Friends, this the thin filament, it constitutes actin and tropomyosin and troponin. Here the tropomyosin, it also runs close to the F molecule. That means it is also runs as close to the F molecule, that is tropomyosin. Tropomyosin. And another protein called troponin. The troponin, it is a complex protein and it is a small globular head. This troponin, it is distributed to the tropomyosin at regular intervals. So it runs close to the F molecule. Friends, this troponin, it is made up of 3 polypeptide chains. That chains are troponin T, troponin I and troponin C. Here this troponin T, it binds with the tropomyosin, so it is called as troponin T. And here this troponin I, that means it prevents the myosin head to bind on the actin sites, so it is troponin I. And troponin C, it binds with the calcium ion, so it is troponin C. Friends, when the calcium ions of troponin C, so the calcium ions of troponin C of the troponin, it binds with the troponin, immediately at that time tropomyosin, it moves away from the binding site and it allows the myosin head to bind on the actin sites. Okay friends, here this tropomyosin and troponin both are called regulatory proteins because they are helpful for showing and blocking of the actin sites, so that they are called regulatory proteins. Friends, So, these are the troponin and tropomyosin role in the masking and unmasking the actin sites. So, this troponin and tropomyosin, by the help of these, the contraction of muscles takes place and it serves as a cross bridge. So, the muscle contraction will takes place. Both the proteins, the tropomyosin, it stop the interaction between actin and myosin. Troponin, it is made up of 3 polypeptide units. So, these are the cross bridge of troponin and tropomyosin. Friends, do you get any doubt that why we shiver in winter? Yes, most of them you get this doubt. I will explain it. There is a relationship between the contraction of skeletal muscle and also shivering in winter, because when the contraction of muscle get automatically at that time it increases the flow of blood. So, due to this reason we will shiver in the winter. Friends, not only this, when we shivering in the winter, at that time the hypothalamus, which is present in our brain region, it may react with the contraction of skeletal muscle. So, then it results in the keeping the body of warm. So, friends, shivering is not a trouble, that it also helpful to regulate that body temperature. Okay? Now, you got it? Okay, friends, myosin. Myosin is a motor unit. Generally, myosin is one of the type of, it is a protein. It is also helpful for contraction of muscles. This myosin, it helpful for the construction of cross bridge. So, due to the cross bridge, we can contract the muscle. Myosin, it contain 200 to 300 myosins in present in each thick filaments. Friends, they contain 200 to 300 myosins in each thick filament. Generally, myosin can convert chemical energy into mechanical energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate. Myosins contain many meromyosins. That meromyosins have some 2 parts, that are a globular head. So, friends, this is the globular head. It contains actin binding site along with ATP binding site. This globular head, it forms the light meromyosins, and tail, it constitute heavy meromyosins. Each myosin has 2 meromyosins. Each meromyosin has a globular head and short arm along with a tail. Friends, myosin, it contains the ATP. Friends, due to the lack of calcium ions and also adenosine triphosphate, we will suffer from muscle cramps. Muscle cramps is because of lack of calcium ions. Calcium ions are present in the actin site. Friends, in mammals, like human beings, the sarcolemma, it penetrates into the sarcoplasm. At that time, it forms a T-tubule. I will show you here. In mammals, it constitutes a T-tubule. This is the T-tubule, and it also serves as 2 terminal cisternae. So, this is the terminal cisternae. So, this is the terminal cisternae. Terminal cisternae. And this is T-tubule. This is T-tubule. Friends, one T-tubule and 2 terminal cisternae totally constitute the triad system. That means they totally constitute the triad system.